Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 51 of Just Lying Around, a Detroit Lions podcast presented by the World of Football. I'm your host, Kyle Sutherland, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother-in-law, Adam Snow. Adam, Lions won. The the mighty Eagles lost, and we're looking at a close game here for the Vikings. How are we doing today, and how are you going to feel if the Vikings lose today?
I'll feel really good if the Vikings end up losing. The Eagles won. A bit surprised that it happened, but man, I was really happy when they changed over from the Lions game to that Commanders game. I was cursing the Eagles because that first drive they threw an interception, let the Eagles get another field goal. So once the Commanders came back, I felt great. I was like, oh man, Detroit we just need Seattle now. Just got to root for the other birds.
Yeah, I think if the Vikings lose and the Lions end up winning next week, I think Lions won the division and they lock that first seed down.
Hey, look, it's gonna be tough. Look, I'm not gonna give Minnesota, any flack. They could easily win this game tonight as it's happening, as we're recording. But lots on the line. Not just that. I mean, our fantasy leagues, you and I are trying to stay out of the toilet bowl. I think right now we're both looking okay. Don't want to jinx it too early. I mean, we got a lot of stuff happening in football. And yesterday was a crazy long day of football between the college football playoff, a couple NFL games. Then today, between fantasy and then NFL playoff stuff happening, it's been football heaven, Kyle. And speaking of football heaven, before we let you go, I do got to mention up top, guys, tomorrow night, Monday night, 7 o'clock, go to Off the Walls YouTube channel. That's what Randy and I will be live streaming there. We're going to be watching an old arena football game with our buddy Trey over there at Off the Wall. He's graciously having us on as guests. We're going to be announcing a winner of a contest he's having for a sweatshirt giveaway. If you go to his Instagram account, I believe that's at Off the Wall FB. You guys can go over there. He's got all the rules on how to get an Arena Football 1 sweatshirt. Go over there, follow the rules, and then find out the winner on our live stream, or his live stream that we'll be a part of Monday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Come join us to watch an arena football game from the past. It should be a lot of fun. I yield the floor to you now, Kyle.
All right. So on today's show, we're going to go to the Lions Week 16 win against the Chicago Bears. Look ahead at Week 17 against the San Francisco 49ers. Might talk a little news there. I know one player came up being cut off the roster, so I'll talk about that a little bit. So we had the Lions 34, Bears 17. Pretty much first half, first quarter, second quarter, Lions dominated offensive side. Defense kind of, I don't know what Aaron Glenn's plan the second quarter was, but allowing Caleb Williams to connect with Keenan Allen, it seemed like a lot. But it's kind of interesting that second half. I thought I don't know. It seemed to me like the Bears were doing a lot better than they did, but the Bears only scored a field goal the second half. So defense shutting them down there. So stats here real quick. Jared Goff, 23 of 32, 336 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, the leading running back now since Monty's out. 23 carries for 109 yards, 4.7 average, 1 touchdown, and 4 receptions for 45 yards. Jameson Williams, 5 receptions for 143 yards, 28.6 average, but that long bomb to Jameson Williams kind of skews that number there. And he had 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown 6 receptions for 70 yards, 11.7 average per catch, and 1 touchdown. Bears side, Caleb Williams, 26 of 40 for 334 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 carries for 34 yards. DeAndre Swift, 9 carries, 20 yards, 2.2 average, 3 receptions for 33 yards. So the running side defense for the Lions shutting that run game down like they have in the past. So that's good to see there, especially versus DeAndre Swift, who's kind of elusive in that backfield, can cut out and make big plays there. And Keenan Allen, 9 receptions for 141 yards, 15.7 average, 1 touchdown. I don't know about you, but Keenan Allen's always slice and dice this defense up for the Lions. Even when he was on the Chargers, that veteran and him, he knows how to open up those big spots for the quarterback to throw it to him.
You say always, but we've only played him a couple times with the Bears, so let's not get crazy. He's obviously the number one target for Caleb.
He faced him when he was on the Chargers too, and
yeah, but I mean that's what happens when you play a great receiver. That's like, anytime you play oh my God, the receiver for the Buccaneers, what's his name?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, like playing him, like CD Lamb. I mean, they're guys we don't see all the time, but yeah, they're just good wide receivers that are going to get their numbers. So, look, I figured Keenan Allen would have a great year in Chicago, depending on how good Caleb plays. And look, let's give it. Caleb played pretty decent actually today. Took a real couple of bad sacks. I think he got away with a roughing the passer play though. Definitely didn't agree with that one, but maybe that's the Lion homer in me. But I just didn't think that was roughing the passer play. And Caleb threw a couple of weird balls. It was his fault on that one fumble early on in the game. So not a completely spotless game by Caleb Williams, but Caleb Williams has definitely improved. I'll give him that. He's definitely a guy that the Bears could build around. But man, kudos to the Lions defense, even with a shorthanded again. I know we got a guy back I'm sure we'll talk about, but overall, Lions holding most of the Bears playmakers in check. DJ Moore not getting a big game is, I think, a big thing. So if you're going to just allow one, I'm glad it's Keenan Allen, not any of those other guys.
Yeah. So total yards, Lions 475, Bears 382. Time of possession, Lions 31 minutes 29 seconds, Bears 28 minutes and 31 seconds. We'll jump into the offensive side. Past couple of games, seems like the running game and the offensive line couldn't really get anything going, but Gibbs, even the other couple guys we have, Vodke and saw a little bit Jameer Jefferson out there, and Craig Reynolds getting back in form with over 146 yards on the ground. How are you feeling with Gibbs these next couple of games without Monty? Or you okay with that? I feel like I be fine.
I feel like they'll be okay. I think they towards the end of the game they finally started sprinkling in some Craig Reynolds that would normally probably be in that. And he looked big. They looked like Craig Reynolds bulked up a little bit. He looked big. So he's kind of taking over that Monty role, I think, eventually. I think they just kind of ease him into this one. They gave Jameer a bulk of the carries today, and Jameer becomes the first. He's produced 100+ scrimmage yards in 9 games this season. That is the most by a Lions running back since Barry Sanders in 1997. I believe he also, if I could scroll through here, I'm looking at all the different stuff Lions players have done today. A lot of records and stuff were broken and set. Let's see. I believe he had another stat, but I could be wrong. He has produced 70+ scrimmage yards in 15 straight games, tying a single season franchise record set by Barry Sanders that same 1997. So Jameer Gibbs was just doing it all. The offense kind of went through him today. Him and then Amon-Ra was kind of a safety valve. Laporta was a safety valve. And then Jameson Williams, when they needed to, he got the ball in very crucial spots, and I thought he did a great job. So this Lions offense, I think with Gibbs as the, quote, lead back, it functions just as well as if they had Montgomery in there. There was a little bit of an issue on the goal line situation where we ran it like 3 times straight with Gibbs. I thought he got in on the second one, even though like his feet were in the end zone. I thought the ball still crossed. They didn't give it to him. So I think he's fine in short yardage. It's just I get why the Lions wouldn't want him to take that many carries because he's going to get beaten up a little bit doing everything Monty does.
Yeah, it sounds like Monty got his third opinion, so he didn't get the surgery. He's going to try a different route of healing up and hopefully being back for the playoff push coming up about 3 or 4 weeks from now.
Hey, they said divisional round is what he was aiming at. So if the Lions get that bye, we might get him back.
Divisional round?
That's what he said, or that's what
After
was
the
kind of
wild
floating
card,
around.
okay. Yep. So let's move on here to golf with some big time throw to JMO. What was that? 80 something yards plus or
It was
whatever.
82 yards. Yeah, it was nuts. Awesome.
Yeah, then they had the that one fluky play it looked like, but I think Dan Campbell came out and said that was a trick play thrown up.
Yeah, it was a
To
design
Laporta.
play. Did you see the highlight of Goff walking up to Campbell with the tablet saying, "Hey, look at that play," and him and Campbell are sitting there watching it on the tablet on the sideline and just laughing about it? Like, oh, that was great.
Yeah, I saw it on X. You could someone was yelling ball, just try the throw the defense off there, but yeah, that
It worked. It fooled me.
yeah, yeah, Aaron or not Aaron Glenn, but Ben
Ben
Johnson's
Johnson.
got a whole book on trick plays.
No kidding. The
So
well runs deep, as he said. Goff has
yeah,
produced a passer rating of 100 plus in 11 games this year. That establishes a new franchise record for the Lions. He's produced a 70% completion mark in 6 road games this season with a 15 attempt minimum. That ties Matt Schwab in 2009 and Steve Young in 1994 for the second most road games with 70% plus completion percentage in a season in NFL history. Goff also has now produced 30 games with at least 300 passing yards and a 100 passer rating. This establishes a new NFL record for the most games with 300 yards and a 100 passer rating through 9 career seasons for Goff. So Lions did a lot today, and obviously the 13 wins breaks a franchise record, sets the new franchise record for the most wins in the season. We've witnessed it, Kyle. Here we are with our own 2 eyes. Well, my 4 eyes and your 2 eyes. We have witnessed the Lions getting a 13th win in the regular season, which is just, I never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day. You do that in Madden, pretty easily, 13, 14 wins in a season, but you never think in real life that you're going to see your team pull off of that 13th win. It's awesome.
yeah, and the Lions are undefeated on the road this season, so they got
The last
one more
team
game.
left.
Yeah, one more game at 49ers to continue that streak there. So guys probably saw Glasgow was out this game. They had Christian Mahogany step in at left guard. Played pretty well. I take it in the future, probably next season, he's going to step in as a starting guard. So good practice for Mahogany. I think he did all right this game. So we'll have to see in the future here if he continues to maybe give Glasgow a break here or there, if he steps in or not.
Yeah, I thought the offensive line played pretty great. They didn't allow a sack till very late in the game. Both offensive lines I think held pretty good. Lions, I think that was it. Was that the only sack Goff took all game?
Yeah, he
I
only
think
had one sack.
so. The offensive line was playing out of their mind. Even there was that screen play that Gibbs caught. They got 3 offensive linemen down the field blocking for him. Like, this offensive line is awesome. There's depth there, and it's really great to see. Even Skipper still coming in and getting the extra, extra lineman packages. Like, it's awesome. This offensive line's world class.
Yep. So let's jump into the defensive side. So early in the game, we saw Ife Melifanu back, played this game. You kind of saw him and Branch kind of come off the edge, safety blitzes. Kind of threw Williams off his game the first quarter. And I don't know, for whatever reason, it seemed like Glenn kind of pulled back second quarter on, allowing to Williams to throw the ball to wide open receivers, people like Keenan Allen, a few other receivers there. So I don't know what Glenn saw, but I feel like you should have sprinkled in those safety blitzes more throughout this game to kind of keep Williams off his zone zone, I guess.
Well, I mean, I feel like they should have gone a little more zone. It did feel like on the defensive side they did a lot of man, which is what the Lions defense does. I felt Terrion Arnold didn't play his best game. He definitely got burned several times on some pass plays. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? he took the wrong kind of angle on a couple of plays that allowed Keenan Allen to get like some crucial first downs on, and those fourth down plays they just couldn't stop him. If they make a couple of stops, I think we're talking about a different game here. The Lions had several opportunities on fourth down plays to get the Bears off the field, and they just, for whatever reason, there's just a couple of drives where the Bears were just hot and they couldn't do it. And that's something we just got to live with this defense, I think. And I think we're lucky that our offense was able to jump out to the lead they did, thanks to the 2 turnovers early in the game. Because otherwise, I think the Bears could have been in this pretty easily. They got the offensive firepower. That's undeniable. It's just a matter of, does Caleb Williams, 1, make smart decisions, and 2, does that offensive line keep him upright? And for the most part, I felt like Caleb Williams did make good decisions, and the offensive line kept him upright. It wasn't until the end of the game, I think, when he had to start forcing some plays, like, okay, it's crunch time, we got to start making crucial plays, that he kind of started slipping up a little bit, holding it too long. The defense finally, like you said, bringing the safety blitzes. There was one play, I forget who it was, I think it was Melifonwu, just in like a bolt of lightning, like ran around and got in there and caused some havoc. He didn't finish the play, but he got in there and definitely it allowed the Lions to capitalize. So I'd like to see a little bit more. I think some zone coverage now and then, Mr. Aaron Glenn, would be nice, just to change it up.
Yeah, I saw Branch was kind of at that nickel position. Besides Terrion Arnold, who was the other cornerback? Did they move
Robertson?
What's his face to the outside?
Robertson?
The guy that usually plays nickel or safety, or not safety.
You talking about Kirby Joseph?
Slot.
I can't remember the top of my head.
Let me look it up.
I was gonna say, don't you have a roster right there, Kyle? I feel like you got a whole roster like printed off and ready to look at.
Amik Robertson. Did they move him to the outside?
I don't know, but I said Robertson like 3 times and you didn't say anything. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Well, shoot. I'll talk louder if I have to.
Okay, just start yelling.
Yes, sir.
So anyways, the defensive side, 2 of 10, third down efficiency, but what really hurt that defense was 3 of 4 on fourth down efficiency. It seemed like, like you said, wide open, wide receivers to get that first down. They did 2 sacks and 3 punts, and they had 2 fumbles. So overall, I'd say defensive side, with who they're missing, who stepped up, did an okay job this game here.
Yeah, like don't let the score fool you. They scored 17 points, which is, I think, for a defense, that's great. In this NFL, holding a team to 17 points is pretty great. But I feel like it didn't feel like that during the game. The Bears, after that first couple of drives, especially second quarter on, the Bears were able to move the ball. And the defense really was very, very bend, don't break. And I think once the Bears got down to the red zone, the defense tightened up, which you like. I mean, the Bears defense did that too once you got to the red zone. But I definitely feel like that score is not indicative of. It points how far I felt the Lions were ahead in this game, and then how close the Bears were. Like, it was just, the Bears were definitely in this game more than that scoreboard shows.
Yeah, you got to remember too, offensive side. Jake Bates missed a field goal. They converted 0 of 1 on their fourth down attempt there too. So if Jake Bates connected and they connected on that fourth down, the Lions could have easily had 40+ yard or score there to really hurt the Chicago Bears as well.
That's true. Yeah, that amon-ra play where I thought I'm not sure if that was pass interference. I'm okay with them, I guess, not throwing the flag, but it's kind of close to me. I thought that the guy wrapped his arm around Amon-Ra's hip.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. That fourth down play. I mean, you get that though. I feel like Detroit puts up more points on that drive. And Jake Bates missing what should have been a 60-yard field goal. I think he could have hit. But moving it back 5 yards, I think definitely made a difference. That dumb penalty by the center there.
Yeah, Hogan Hatton.
Yeah.
Which I guess you're not allowed to play with the ball, I guess. Whatever.
I thought earlier, like, I saw him kind of messing with the ball a little bit. I'm like, what the heck's he doing? And then they finally got called.
I imagine they'll talk to Hogan Hatton and tell him stop doing that. All right. So notes from this game. Dan Campbell obviously had his team ready, especially with that 97-1, the ticket interview they did Tuesday, firing everyone up, the team up, the fans up, with that moldy bread and smack to the mouth or whatever. So the Lions are still on a streak of only allowing just one loss and winning the next game. So that's good news there. But the biggest news out of this game, no one got hurt
That we know of.
that we know of. I
It's
don't
like
think
last week,
anyone.
I didn't even know Monty was on the injury report because he came back in the game and I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Then the next day, all of a sudden, he's out for the year. Like, what?
But what fans could see for this game so far, without anything being released, was no one got hurt, which is good news there.
Yeah.
And the other biggest news is we need to stop these dumb penalties by the Lions. Jamison Williams again got flagged for a personal foul. I believe there was another player also that got flagged for a dumb penalty.
That was on the Bears side, though.
Okay.
Because, Jamison had the one. He was out of bounds again against that same quarterback, Stevenson. And, like, he did the thing where he spun the ball in front of his feet there on the sideline, and they threw the flag right away on that. Like, come on, bud. Like, just get out of there and get back to the huddle. I don't know. I felt like should have been a late hit. So, but they didn't call on the Bears again. So I think the Bears got away with one there, and then we retaliated. So yeah, it went on us. Luckily though, he got the first down, and it was an after the play, so it was just 15 yards back further from where we were. The other play though was on the Bears, and that's when I think Craig Reynolds had the ball, got kind of horse collared to the ground. They didn't call anything there, but then it's when he was jawing with that defender, and the defender swatted the ball because I guess Reynolds like threw it up. Like he was throwing it at the player, but I think he was throwing it at the ref. And then the Bears guy swatted the ball away. And that's when they threw the flag on the Bears guy, kept the Lions drive going. So, but yeah, they just got to stop the dumb. The dumb penalties is too much. And you saw Dan Campbell put his arm around Jamison Williams. And I think, great coach in there. Like, hey, bud, look, like you got the first down. That's what we needed. That other stuff's got to stop. And it's unlike last time where they benched him pretty much after his dumb thing the last time the Lions played the Bears. They seemed like they kept looking at him, throwing it to him, and then obviously they threw the deep bomb to him shortly thereafter, like the next drive or two. So that's how much confidence they have in that dude. So I don't know. You just got to clean that up because something dumb like that could end up hurting us. It didn't today, but it could.
Yeah, Jamison Williams is a electric player. It's just these stupid penalties he does. Like, if he stopped doing, or he's gonna stop doing, obviously. But if he weren't to do that and just go out there and play ball, like, I could definitely see the Lions extending his contract, getting him a new contract. But these penalties and the stuff wrapped around him, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll
have to wait and see.
Right now, Jamison Williams is doing a heck of a job out there.
He's just got to stop if he's getting messed with on the sideline. And I think it was only been that Bears game really that he's getting, those Bears guys like to chirp with him and like to get under his skin because they know they can. If he's on the sideline and they do something to him, like trip him, like the guy eventually got fined for it. But you just can't retaliate to that. You just got to be like, all right, you punk, I'm going to catch an 80-yard pass on the field. That's what you got to do. Like, you can't do something stupid that's going to cost your team a penalty in a heated moment like that. Look, they're going to try to be chippy. They're probably going to try to trip you and get under your skin. You just got to get beyond it. Kind of like how I try to get under your skin during a podcast and you just power through, Kyle.
Yeah. So before we talk about Week 17 preview, talk a little bit of news here. Some of you might know Brandon Joseph, backup safety for the Lions. He got cut this week. News came out he got arrested for a driving under the influence and was released, but the Lions went ahead and just cut him. So I don't know what the big picture on that is, but they did activate Ife Melifonwu, who hopefully until the end of the season continues to play. We saw him today, kind of if questionable or not, but go out there and make some big plays for the Lions. So, yeah, it kind of sucks for Brandon Joseph there.
Yeah.
Kind of the wrong life decisions there.
Yeah, when that news came through, it said former Lions players. I didn't even hear about him getting cut. I didn't know when that happened. So I didn't even know he was still on the roster or near the roster any time that news broke. But it said former Lions. So that kind of threw me. But then, interesting enough, too, Tom Kennedy getting promoted to the roster this week. Probably
Yeah.
in lieu of the Montgomery injury. You bring in an extra guy who can return kicks and punts and stuff. That kind of saves you like an amon-ra having to pull that duty, or one of those other guys they've had back there. Dorsey, who got hurt during that Bills game, obviously. So, just
Yeah, I
thought that
think
was interesting.
they cut Maurice Alexander again, so I don't know if it's just one of those things where they gotta continue to cut people and bring them back on the practice squad to elevate them again. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, kind of interesting next week if they re-sign Maurice Alexander or cut Tom Kennedy to sign him back to the practice squad there. So let's jump into Week 17 preview. Lions versus 49ers. December 30th, away at 8:15 at night on ABC. Couple things for me. Let's continue to run the ball with Gibbs, Craig Reynolds, and set up the play action pass. I think the Lions, with the 49 injuries they have, the Lions should come out with a win. This game is like a payback from the NFC Championship game from last year. I think the Lions are going to come out with that mentality of we're going to run it down your throat and beat you guys up. Also, we need to stop Purdy and the injured offense. They don't have Christian or McCaffrey, and they don't have Ayuk. So, yeah, that offense is pretty banged up. I think their left tackle is out too. Um, so, yeah.
Yep.
And then the last thing for me, will we see anyone else return off the injured reserve list? I know it sounds like Alex Anzalone's. I think this game he's able to return. We'll have to see how his arm is. They did start Jalen Reeves-Maybin's 21-day practice from injured reserve, so we'll see if he's back also. So it does sound like we're getting some people back from the injured reserve, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I'll be curious. I think that Niners defense will still be pretty tough. They still got some guys on that defensive side of the ball. Right now, they're holding Miami to 6 points as that game's underway. So it'll be interesting to see. I think the Lions are going to come out with a mission. Like, this isn't the same 49ers team they played last year. They're missing a lot of dudes, but clearly it's the same thing like when they played the Cowboys earlier this year. I think they're going to come in and they're going to want to prove that we're going to take a lead and we're not going to give it up. At least I hope that's the mentality. And because I don't think they're going to look ahead to the next game, which is a big game. But you got to look at the Niners, and you got to just put the Niners out of their misery, knock the Niners out of the playoffs, and just get a little bit of revenge for that championship game.
The Niners are knocked out of the playoffs.
Are they officially out? I haven't seen them officially knocked out.
Because someone,
I've not seen that they've been mathematically eliminated.
Yeah, it's whatever team that won a game today knocked the 49ers out.
Okay, I'm going to double check the NFL.com. But because I knew the Bears, at least on the NFC side, the Bears, Giants, and Panthers were all eliminated. And then the Cardinals and Cowboys have been eliminated since. I just hadn't heard anything about the other spot, but I'm scrolling right now to look at
that. It might have been the Rams winning today, knocked the 49ers out.
Okay. It's still loading up. Let me see here. Okay, yep, you are correct. Yeah, the Niners are now eliminated, so I take that back then. So, yeah, that playoff picture is getting pretty tight.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting next couple of weeks here how that ends up. Hopefully, the Lions do stay on the first seed and get that bye. Because yeah, the way the Rams are playing right now, the Bucks are playing like um, those are going to be hard fought battles if they gotta go against the Lions there.
Yeah. Right now, Minnesota, as we're talking, is up 17-14 at halftime with Seattle. And I guess the Dolphins must have just scored because the Dolphins are now up 12-7 on the Niners.
And the Patriots are 14-7 against the Bills.
Why are we talking about that? Oh, because it's the Bills.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a shock. Come on, Patriots, get a little revenge for the Lions.
Yeah. They can knock Josh Allen to an interception. So hey,
dang.
Goff MVP.
Oh, look, I'm still on the Goff for Man of the Year as opposed to MVP. I don't want the MVP. I want a Super Bowl. All right, he can be Super Bowl MVP. He doesn't need to be league MVP.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
Do you want to talk about the Superman trailer? Do you want to talk about our Christmas plans?
Maybe for a different podcast, but football related.
Other than do you want to talk about
Lions related?
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Then no, I don't think I have anything else at the top of my head.
Except for the UFL promoting Jake Bates as their commercials. I like that.
Very smart. Very smart. Are we gonna do a Michigan Panthers podcast, Kyle? I mean,
no.
Gotta keep your brain and your podcasting skills in shape during the off season.
They play on Sundays, right?
I think they're moving it to like Friday nights, Fridays and Saturdays, and maybe Sundays. So,
well, you guys can get season tickets. They're probably $400 for the season.
Probably, but heck yeah. I mean, for what it costs for one Lions game, you could probably get a whole season's tickets worth with the Panthers. Yeah, right there, Michigan Panthers. Let's do this.
All right, enough talking about the Michigan Panthers. Let's go ahead and close it out here.
All right. Well, I'm just going to mention the Canadian Football League and the Toronto Argonauts. Then we've kind of completed all the big North American outdoor leagues. All right. So, guys, we appreciate you guys watching and listening to today's episode and hope you come back for more. Be sure to visit the World of Football's website, www.theworldoffootball.com, for news, links, upcoming events, original articles, videos, and more. If you want to get in touch with us, send us an email to info@theworldoffootball.com, or you can connect with us by either liking the World of Football on Facebook or following the World of Football's X account, formerly known as Twitter. Those links are down in the episode description. Be sure to check out our flagship podcast, This Week in the World of Football, which drops episodes every Tuesday, which are me and my dad talking, and we're going to do one on Christmas Eve. So, yes, there will be an episode on Tuesday. You can find that in your podcast feed as well as this very YouTube channel. Again, links will be down in the description below. And again, a reminder, guys, tomorrow night on Off the Wall FB over on YouTube, I'll put a link down in the description as well to get to his YouTube page. Like, subscribe to them. They're great. Our buddy Trey. We're going to be on a live stream with him, Randy and I, that is, talking arena football for probably 3 hours. We're going to be rewatching an old arena football game, talking about it, discussing it. Kyle, I know you're laughing, but you're going to tune in. You're going to learn a thing or two because we're on there, and we're gonna be spitting some knowledge and having some fun with our buddy Trey over there at Off the Wall. So go over there, guys, 7:00 Eastern time to check out that show over on his YouTube channel or his X account. I think he streams on like a bunch of platforms.
All right. Okay, that's it for us this week. 2 more games for the regular season. Hopefully the Vikings lose against the Seahawks tonight. Give Lions a little extra breathing room. And yeah, until then, I'll have another preview episode for the Lions 49ers coming out Friday or Saturday. You'll be on the lookout there. And until then, remember to go Lions, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.
Bye.